Hi, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to talk a little bit more about desire. We all want a lot of things in life. We have our dreams, we have our goals, we have our ideas. But until we get that desire really going, it just remains what it is, nothing really. And if we don't take any action, then nothing's going to happen. I'm referring again to the Think and Grow Rich of Napoleon Hill, and I had a fantastic session this morning. We're in the first chapter, Desire, and we're just reading and masterminding about it, and it's absolutely fantastic. As I said, wishing. Well, Napoleon Hill says that there is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. You are never ready for a thing until you believe you can acquire it, you can receive it. That is part of the desire. You'll never receive it until you believe it. Napoleon Hill said that you can conceive anything and that you can believe it, then you can achieve it. Those are the three things, of which belief is actually the most important part, because if you don't believe that you deserve to have it or that you're worthy enough to have it, if that is not in your belief system, then the desire simply evaporates. It just goes away. So in your desire, for which you got to, work up really a white hot burning desire, something that you can't live without anymore, you've got to have that belief in there that it's for you, that you can have it, that you deserve to have it, and that you will take all the steps necessary, no matter what it takes, to work towards getting that desire, because that desire is so big that really nothing is going to stop you. You want to have it. Whatever it is, you will have it, and you can have it. Often what happens is, while you're on your way, is you will get stumbling blocks. And the interesting thing is that usually the one side of the coin is the stumbling block and the other side of the coin is the achieving. So you've got to work through the stumbling blocks, whatever they are. And Napoleon Hill calls them adversities. And you've got to realize that every adversity brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. So if a stumbling block comes upon you, or if you come across a stumbling block, there's two things you can do. You can just go like, oh wow, this is never going to happen. I don't know how to do this. Or you can say like, I wonder what the lesson is in this, and how can I use this to my advantage? That's what the big achievers do. They look at it. They don't start to whine. They look at it because they have this desire to move forward. So they know that whatever the stumbling block is there for a reason. I believe everything is for a reason. So what is the reason for that stumbling block? What is it that you need to learn there? You can just simply say, isn't that interesting, that stumbling block? I wonder what I need to learn from this. So look at that in the light of your burning desire. What is the stumbling block bringing you that you need to grow, not go through, but grow through to move you to the next level? And it's amazing when you find that out, when you see where you can learn to grow through it, how it will propel you forward. Another thing with your desire is you got to have the faith. You got to hold the faith that your desire is yours, is there for you. In whatever you do, no matter how big your obstacle is, when you have that desire, because that's the burning desire, hold the faith that it's there for you. And it's interesting how the universe then starts to bend itself when you hold the faith, when you do the right actions, when you keep focused on your burning desire. It is interesting how the universe bends itself to help you then. There are many examples of people who have been very successful, and they had a burning desire to succeed in no matter what it was. It's not important. They just really wanted to succeed, and they did in one way or another, and they make a success. One of the stories that I find is appropriate here as well is the story of George Danzig. George Danzig was a student who had a burning desire to get himself through the university to do whatever he wanted to do, and he worked very hard and didn't come easy to him, so he was often late studying. so late that he overslept one morning, and he came in class 20 minutes late. So he missed the first part of the professor, and the professor had written two formulas, mathematical mind teasers, on the blackboard, and George quickly copied them, thinking that it was the assignment. So he worked his tail off for a couple of days to get those problems solved, and then he delivered it to his professor. Interestingly enough, what George didn't know is that those two equations that were on the blackboard were teasers that even Einstein had not been able to solve, and George solved them. Why did he solve them? Because first of all, he didn't know that he couldn't solve them because nobody had told him, because he was late, that those were the ones, those two equations were the mathematical mind teasers that had been stumping scientists for hundreds of years. And secondly, he had a burning desire to move forward, to get his degree, and he knew that this was just part of it. So that's why he grew through that. It's a phenomenal story, I actually think. There's many stories of people who pushed themselves because they had a burning desire to move forward. Another story that recently was brought to my attention is the story of Kyle Maynard. And I will show a little video below here, and it tells the whole story of this remarkable young man who had a burning desire to succeed. So the white hot burning desire is something that you have inside of you. And if you perhaps have a desire, and it's not yet a white hot burning one, ask yourself how you can create the white hot burning on it, on your desire, because you can. It's just your limitations that stop you from having that and just really pushing you through and moving you forward. Thank you for being here.